Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Piofiore. And, okay, so, look, for those of you who have been following along from the beginning, I know, now, I have now seen comments that the Elgato software was fucking up from the second episode on. But in case this just shows you how far ahead I am, that, okay, yep, you're just noticing that, and I'm this far ahead, so there's nothing I can do about anything. So I appreciate people who have pointed out and been like, so this audio's fucked up? Because I didn't know what happened, obviously, in the second episode. Otherwise, I'd have fixed it, and I'd have known, and we wouldn't have waited till like 30-some-odd fucking episodes in for me to be like, what the hell is happening? So I apologize if it has been fucked up for God knows how long, because I couldn't hear the music. It was low enough that I couldn't tell it was skipping underneath my talking. Like, I can hear me talking and the music would be just kind of low. So, yes, I did figure it out. And yes, I know people pointed it out, but I figured it out and fixed it before you noticed and pointed it out on the second episode. That's how far ahead I am right now. It's probably December at this point, pushing January, I think. This might actually be the last week of December at this point, I think. And yeah, so for you, for me, it's November. So I'm keeping ahead because, look, we got ahead and everything was great. And then the hard drive crashed and then we were behind and everything got fucked up, and probably shouldn't stay so far ahead. But if I don't get ahead, then everything's going to fucking fall apart and I'm going to get so fucking far behind. So, but with that also being said, anyway, again, I apologize if there has been fucked up sound issues that I haven't caught, which I'm sure there have been now, knowing. I think at this point, the first 5 episodes are up, and I've only seen people commenting on the second one that it kind of fucked up. But luckily, it only kind of skipped for a minute there, and it was janky, and then it was okay, so it's not like it's janky for the whole episode, because we should be fine now, though, because we've just given the fuck up on the Elgato software, because it just fucking hates me. I don't fucking know why, but whatever, so. Hey, anyway. Also, I can't remember what the fuck happened, because it's been a week since I played this. Not quite, but it's been... No, it hasn't been quite it's 4 or 5 days? I don't know. It's been a while. I'm pretty sure we're at the point where we're, again, waking up. Isn't this how we started and ended the last episode, was waking up after a night of debauchery with Yang, and I'm pretty sure this time we just boned him after he murdered Dante. So, I kind of forgot about that, but here we go. Anyway, popping back in. I sensed morning and slowly opened my eyes. You're up. Ooh, wow, that's loud. I've turned the music up so loud in my ear, so I could hear. Also, when I use my headsets in different games, it's there was no music in the first part anyway. I felt like my body wasn't mine. It hurt all over, but I somehow felt like I was up in the clouds. It was a strange feeling. Morning. Yang stared at me. He's like, the fuck are you saying good morning to me for? Because I love you. Didn't we basically admit that? Or we just not said it? We didn't say the words, but I don't really quite remember. If we specifically said the words, we were like, I think we said, I might like you. I might like you. Whatever. He seemed to be staring at my chest, and I rushed to hide it with the sheets. Oh, right, our burn mark, or scar, or whatever the hell it is, tattoo. What? What's wrong? Oh, it's fading. Was your mark always that light? I remember his voice. Wow. Huh? After he pointed it out, I looked down at the birthmark on my chest. Oh, that's interesting. You know what? They never mentioned what happened to it, with Nicola, right? I would assume with Nicola, because, okay, it got darker, or turned red or whatever, because we were one with the Keymaster, and we're the gatekeeper, I guess? No, we're the Keymaster, and he's the gatekeeper? I don't know. Some fucking Ghostbuster level shit going on, and I just put that together now, and I'm very disappointed in myself. Anyway, like with Dante, it turned red, right? Because he's like, Falzone blood, like whatever. But like with Nicola, even though he's not technically the Falzone heir, he is a Falzone heir. So it could have worked. But it's interesting in this, it's like it's fading away like, bitch, you don't get to have this mark. How dare you judge me, Jesus? Rude. But like it's kind of, I like the fact that they kind of pointed out something changed about it. Because it changed in Dante's route, you know? Like it was smart enough to be like, it's a holy mark, it knows when you've had the divine penis in you, I guess. I shouldn't be allowed to play these games or provide commentary or say anything because it just sounds so wrong, but that's basically what happened. And now it's like, you've let Satan in! I mean, it's Yang, for God's sakes. He's the closest thing we have, right? Alright. I just find it interesting, that's all. After he pointed it out, I looked down at the birthmark on my chest. I hadn't seen it in a while. Do you not look at yourself when you're showering? It's on your chest, how do you not notice? And just as Yang pointed out, the color had faded drastically. How? I never experienced such a thing. Confused, I raised a hand to touch it. Wait, did I just skip some? No, okay. Oh, well, Yang seemed to be over it. I looked at his profile. What's with that look? I was curious about something. Last night I said all these things to him and he barely listened to me. I wanted to say his name and notice something. Not a single person in the Lao Shu ever called Yang by his full name. Is Yang your real name? Yang's eyes narrowed, looking annoyed, but he answered. He's gonna say, like, I was gonna say, if he gives me a name I'm not gonna be able to pronounce. I can't pronounce it. I'm from, is it Gaolong Sengzai? That's probably not right, but hey, it's an attempt. I'll give myself a C-. I've always been alone, so I don't have a family name. Yang was the name I used out of necessity. And your given name? I've forgotten. Anyway. Enough of that. I stole a woman from Lee's place. What? It can't be... And the woman you've been worried about. Oh, he got us a panda? He murdered Dante? I mean, the murder in Dante isn't that... That's not nice, but he did it to protect us, and he stole a woman for us. He's just... so... wonderful. It's a little weird, but I mean, hey, he stole our friend for us. That's nice, right? I mean, yes, it's weird that he stole a woman, but like, considering the circumstances, it's nice. I'm going to warn you now. She's in a bad condition. She may not even notice you. I cannot do his voice right now. What is wrong? Like, okay, I can't do the voices ever, but like, I don't know what's happening. He doesn't sound right to me. Like, after a few days, I just forgot. You know what? It's because he's not being a fucking bitch. Do you still want to see her? Yes, of course. Elena was in the room Yang guided me to. She looked pale and she was shivering, groaning in pain. Her hands and feet were tied tightly to the bedposts. She's out of drugs and losing her mind. If we leave her be, she may take her life. So no matter what you think, don't take those off. I understand. I nodded awkwardly and headed to Elena's side. And I gripped Elena's hand, wrapped in cloth. She gripped my hand back tightly. Elena, it's me. Space is here. Oh, Space, where am I? You're all right now. The person who abducted you is gone. What? Yes. When you're better, let's go back to the church. Yang's like, excuse me? No! I stroked her hair. From then on, my days treating Elena began. She best, when she gets all healthy, not try to cockblock me from my man. I will beat her down. Yang, give her the drugs again. Keep her away from him. Morning, Elena. I brought you some food. I don't know. Groan as Elena. A few days had passed since Elena was taken in, and she was still tied to the bed. She still had hallucinations, and she often cried and screamed and tried to harm herself. I'll eat with you. It's a nice day out today. Elena was in and out of consciousness. There were days when we could have a conversation, and other days where I'd scare her like this. When you're better, do you want to try going outside? Getting some fresh air may make you feel better. Outside? Yes, that's right. We could go for a walk. No, I don't want any of this. It'll be all right, Elena. I'll be here with you. I tried to talk to her as peacefully as I could and spent breakfast with her. It was supper time. Since Elena was sleeping, I rushed over to the cafeteria to finish my meal quickly. Even as I ate, I couldn't help but think about Elena. I wonder if she's still sleeping. Actually, Yang's like, this bitch is cock-blocking me because she's taking all our attention. If she's alone when she wakes up, she'll be anxious. I need to hurry back. Can I just ask why we don't have more door frames that are fucking round like that? Because I need some archways like that. Like, that shit's just... I like it. Like, why has everything got to be so fucking square, America? Why can't we have really cool, like, fucking super round archways? You gotta think it'd be hard as fuck to do that. It's just so much easier to be like, boop, boop, rectangle. There you go, door. Like, you know? But still, it looks fucking swanky as shit, and I just want a round fucking doorway like that. I don't have enough room in my apartment for a round doorway. I could do it into my kitchen. Then I'd probably trip if the, you know... you could do, rounded arches, but that thing is like... You know, it comes down almost completely circular on the floor, and, like, if you tried to walk to the far left, you'd, like, trip over the bottom of that. You'd be like, ah! You have to work, like, you have to walk perfectly in the center. I mean, aside from, if you walk too far to the left or right, you get a curtain in your face. But, like, that's beside the point. If you took those curtains off, you'd trip the fuck over the bottom of that shit, because you know what comes down. Like, you know what I'm saying. And I would trip the fuck over it, smash face first into the wall that's across from it, break a tooth, and just look like an idiot, so... Alright, you know, maybe I shouldn't be trusted with doorways like that, so... Anyway. If she's alone when she wakes up, she'll be anxious and need to hurry back. Okay, I think we'll be right back. Hey. Huh? I was rushing to eat, and Yang called out to me. Okay, I don't... Oh yeah, okay. The look on his face, I'm like, is he like... That's his normal look, but every once in a while, you just read into the look on the sprite that's always been there. It's not like they changed it. But, like, you read into it, he's like, you don't pay enough attention to me anymore. Do you know, like, I just... He's feeling bad about himself. It's Yang, I doubt it, but... You've been locked in that woman's room, caring for her. If you want to take a breather, I can take you outside. Oh, he's like, I can take you outside or, like, whatever. Now? A walk in the dark? Yeah. My eyes grew wide. And since arriving here, you've never seen Valeno at night, have you? It's unsafe, but if you're with me, it won't be a problem. Oh, he's so nice to us. For an asshole, he's really fucking sweet. Am I crazy? Have I, like, broken to the point where if he was like, look, it's safer for you in the cage, I'd be like, that's so nice of him. He's trying to protect me by putting me in a cage. Okay. Have I gone that far? Have I fallen that fucking far where I'm just like, do I just love him that much just from like when I pulled out the cards, like he's hot, I like him. Even though I'm like, he's gonna be an asshole, he's gonna do horrible things to me, but I don't care. Like, if he locked me in a cage, I'd probably be okay with it. I mean, technically, we're in a cage, but he lets us out. He's like, don't leave the city area. I mean, that's a big-ass cage is all I'm saying. He's given us more freedom than Dante or Nicola did. Just saying. For an asshole... For mafia men, they're all pretty fucking great. There's either something wrong with me, or I was just expecting this to be, like, so much darker than it is. I mean, yeah, they all kind of murder each other, and that's dark in itself, but, like, everything else, you're like, they're still kind of all squishy. He's still a little fucking squishy for being so crunchy, you know what I mean? Like, okay. That's a bad analogy, because he's not the marshmallow, even though crunchy on the outside, like, crispy on the outside, squishy on the inside isn't really a marshmallow either, but, you know what I mean? That's not, I don't know how that happened, but it just did, and that's where we came. He definitely is like a gobstopper or a jawbreaker or something where you're like, you're so hard, I'm going to break a tooth. But if you just stick with it for a while, you just get like sugar overdose. And if you manage to bite into it, it's just literally powdered sugar somehow on the inside. It's some kind of weird ass fucking like... It's like a jawbreaker on the outside and a pixie stick on the inside, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. This. I don't know. I don't know where I come up with these things, and just... They're baffling even to me. Anyway. I wonder if he's concerned about me since I've been with Elena all this time. No, I think he's more like lonely, which is kind of fucking cute. Thank you, Yang. That'd make me very happy. Then... But I can't be away from Elena right now. Oh, you crushed him. The slight, like, eye open and then he did, like, the, like, huh? He's like, yeah, huh? I swallowed the last bite of my meal and stood up. Thank you for the meal. Well, I'm gonna prepare Elena's supper, okay? Hold on. Meanwhile story. This is when we peace out. Oh, I'm not going to say I'm mad, but I'm bored. As soon as I see her face after a long time, she disappears. Keeps repeating. Wow, the woman's sure gotten stronger, treating Yang like this. Did you say something? Absolutely nothing. Seeing how scared my subordinate was, I realized I must have looked more annoyed than I thought.
Hey! Did you see that, Faye?
I did. I saw it.
Yang must be shocked that she'd deny him. Poor thing.
I love her because she says what I'm thinking, like, oh, poor Yang, we hurt his feelings. She threatens to kill us all the fucking time. We're literally like a hair's breadth away from being stabbed at any given moment, and it's like, poor Yang, we're being such a bitch. Yang's so cool, too. I mean, I don't know about the inside, but he looks good on the outside. Faye, wow.
Really? We gotta be sure that we don't get Yang mad.
And the two were speaking in an audible tone, but swiftly hurried out of the dining hall. The woman's attitude, the others, they were all pissing me off. I expected as much. Despite belonging to me, she disrespected me. She better brace herself and pay for this. Oh, I don't need to rush. I'm going to wait until things change. What should I do to her? I was looking for a victim to release my frustrations on, and grinned. Did Lee just walk in the room? Lee. Hold on. I got another one. Ooh, Gilbert. Oh, it's cooperate, so yeah. And this is the letter. I want you to read it. Yeah, I'll take a look. I accepted the letter and read the contents. Lord Rosberg's going to support the Visconti, huh? I wasn't interested in his proposal. And the moment a good guy tries to get involved with the Mafia, they can't be trusted. I mean, he's not wrong, but it's funny as fuck. He's like, the second someone from the church is like, hey, they want to get in bed with the Mafia, it's like, they're obviously scumbags. Jesus. I don't need that kind of shit in my life. Yeah. But I'm gonna use the resources at my disposal. Alright. You said your name was Orlok? Then show me what you got in battle. Show me what you've got in battle. You'd better not die easily. Actually, only Yang has killed him so far. Orlok nodded silently. Interesting. I took the empty dishes and left the dining hall toward the kitchen. Were we falling asleep? I seemed to have dozed off and woke up with the start. I must have dozed. I made sure that Elena's sleeping face was peaceful and sighed with relief. I looked at the clock and realized it was close to dawn. Maybe I can start preparing Elena's breakfast now. I made sure to not wake Elena and carefully tiptoed out of the room. She seems to be stable now, but that could change drastically at any time. I wasn't able to be away from Elena for too long. I often fell asleep in her room and haven't returned to Yang's. Oh, that's even what's pissing him off. Yang was busy chasing after Lee's men and restoring the Lao Shu. Oh, that's true. Lee's dead. I forgot about that. When he was like grinning, and I was like, is it Lee? And I'm like, someone was yelling at me. I heard you. I heard you screaming all the way from the fucking past. Yeah. All right. Duh. I forgot. Look, I forgot, okay? It's been a hot minute. He kept his eyes on associates, and even those at the bottom. The twins told me he was very busy. Still doesn't mean he doesn't want you to hold his hand every once in a while. He seemed to feel comfortable strolling through every district, including Arca. Because of that, he'd been getting into fights with members of both the Falzone and the Visconti. Because you're not keeping him occupied, he's going and throwing himself in the path of danger to keep his boredom at bay. God, does she not realize what we're doing to the man? After I prepared Elena's breakfast, I checked on her, and she was still sleeping peacefully. Elena, wake up. It's morning. Let her sleep. I spoke her name and shook her gently. Reading fake yachts make me actually just try to make it audible, and it was like going in and out of like really on but not. Like, I couldn't. Morning already. Morning, Space. Elena yawned. Her eyes thinned at the bright light, and she smiled. Look, her eyes aren't crazy anymore. She seemed to be doing really well. But I'm still worried because I feel like she's forcing herself to act bright. I prepared breakfast already. Let me bring it. Hold on, okay? I slowly ate breakfast with Elena, and we talked about anything. We were finally able to have a peaceful conversation where she could smile from time to time. Uh-oh. The door suddenly flung open and Elena gave a start. There were only a few people who would enter a room like this. Oh, I was going to say, I've expected it to be Yang, but... Lan, Faye, please be sure to knock.
Oh, sorry. Lao Shu don't knock around here, so it's hard to remember.
Gosh. Anyways, what is it? Did you need to talk to me?
Yeah, I wanted to eat Sfogliatella.
Sfogliatella again, whatever.
So I came to ask you.
I saw her ingredients this morning, and I don't think we have what we would need. We need butter and milk?
Oh, then let's go shopping. Then we'll have enough, right?
Shopping. I thought about it. I can't leave Elena right now. It might be good to get some fresh air. We should probably leave Elena. Oh God, he's gonna kill her when we're gone, isn't he? Oh God. It may be good. It may be a good fresh breath of air for Elena. It may be a good fresh breath of air for Elena. Hey, Elena, would you like to come with us?
Me? Could I?
Elena seemed a little taken aback and spoke timidly. Sure, you're starting to feel better, right? Besides, I don't think it's good to be locked in a room all day. What do you think, Faye? Lon? If they said no, then I wouldn't be able to take Elena with me. They chipperly answered,
I don't mind.
Yeah, and if something happens, I guess we can protect you too. What? You two are going to protect me? Elena seemed confused, and the two stood proudly.
Oh, you're really strong.
How reliable of you both. Thank you. Elena smiled and nodded. It's been a while since I've gone shopping with you. It really has. I was so happy to see her smiling. I smiled right back at her.
Then let's get going.
Ahem, Mark. Ooh, I'm bored. I look down on the city streets from the rooftop, killing time. Ever since her friend came, she spends most of her time taking care of her. He's jealous. It's not boredom, it's jealousy. And getting the drugs out of her system, she's had hallucinations and shock symptoms. I understand she couldn't just leave her be. If she seriously wants to save that woman, it's the right decision to be by her side at all times. He's jealous but understanding. Good lord. And if she said she wants to help her, I know she'll keep her word until the end. I plan on waiting until things change, but still, I'm bored. I haven't moved my body much lately. It's becoming dull. I had some stimulation when the Falzone was serious about taking me out, but ever since we got back at them, Barlona's been in a lull. Like the devout believers of the church they are, they mourned the dead and became inactive in honor of Dante Falzone. Poor Dante. Just need a moment. Poor fucking Dante. He's such a good boy. For being a mafia boss, you know. I'm bored. Maybe I'll go hunting. He says he's bored more than I feel bored. Jesus. I'm bored. God, I'm bored. Are you bored? Once I stab an open chest, it ends there. The man before me grunted and fell to my feet. I could smell the familiar scent of blood surrounding the air. This is boring. They were all such weaklings. The more I hunted down the remains, the more my boredom increased. Until Redford or Francesca start making real moves. It'll be like this for a while. With that murmur, I exhaled wearily. Yang's been looking so bored lately. Yeah, in addition to hunting down Lee's men, he said he'll squash any insurgents in our ranks, too. Well, we don't have any guys that'll put up a good fight against Yang. Yeah, I don't blame him for being bored. But nothing good could come of Yang being bored, right? Yeah, God knows what he's gonna say. Hey, think of something. Why don't you think of something? Why don't we get a drink together? We haven't done that in a while, right? That's a good idea. We finished up a job, so we should get some good alcohol and drink the night away. Hey, he's not reacting. Do they not think that he... Do they think he's deaf? Like... I mean, you come up with a better idea. Oh, I know. Why don't we bring him a new woman? Woman? He reacted. Hey, go along with it. It's working. I mean, you know, sir, we've been so busy lately. I'm sure your woman has too. Normally you'd have switched to a new one by now, so it's about time you're tired of her. Maybe that's why you're bored. How dare you, you son of a bitch! Come to think of it, they had a point. And this was the first time I'd been with the same woman for so long. Would you like us to find you a good woman? Okay, I'm not gonna put up with this bullshit if you cheat on me, and then you think I'm gonna be in love with you. Like, that's a bad end for you. I don't need a woman. I'm not particularly bored. What? What they said was right. I used to rotate women frequently. I'm quick to get bored. Even when I think something is interesting, I still get bored. Once they fall for me and fawn over me, they become annoying immediately. But now, I haven't struggled with women much. Speaking of which, I haven't seen her in a while. This is I kind of like this because he's just a womanizer. He's just like, whatever, they're just tools for me, right? They're just toys, basically. I'm bored with this toy, new one. I'm bored with this toy, new one. I'm bored with this toy, new one. And like, they just go in the trash, but like, but now all of a sudden he's like, I don't want to, wait, what? What's happening? He doesn't understand it. It's so cute. Aw. Aw. We've broken him! He just doesn't know it yet. Okay. You two, don't get lost, okay? Oh, God. Yes, we'll do our best. Elena's gonna cause some fucking kind of a problem, isn't she? Feeling the joy of going out with Elena, I set out with a lightness in my step. Oh, well, we only have one more chapter till the ending. So only Dante has 9 chapters so far. We didn't encounter any problems while running our errand, and we were on our way back. Maybe it was because she was finally outside again, but Elena seemed bright. As we walked back, I remembered something. Hey, Lon, Faye? Do either of you know Yang's real name? Oh, that's Faye. Yang's been Yang ever since we met him. I'd like to know his full name, though.
I remember asking him before, but he wouldn't tell me.
I see.
You seem to be very concerned about this man.
It's not like that. Just willingly have sex with him because he's amazing. What? Elena spoke of it directly, and I hurriedly shook my head. Yeah, you know what? Let's not talk. I did it drug-free, bitch. Like... Elena's more like,
at least
least the only time I put out was because I was on drugs. You're a whore. You were on drugs. Drugged up bitch. She doesn't have a right to judge me. Don't you judge me. Look, we love our trash husband, okay?
It really is the case, isn't it? You're always worried about Yang. Yeah. From the moment you wake up to the moment you sleep, it's always Yang this and Yang that.
Except for the last, week or plus, which has been Elena this and Elena that, and that's why he's sad. Ugh, you two. As we walk together... There he is. Could you imagine you're, walking with... Gasp. Takes my breath away. I mean, it worked for me.
Oh, Yang!
Yang was walking across the street. Behind him were a few of his men. The twins looked at one another suddenly, then nodded.
We're gonna head back first, so why don't you go on a stroll with Yang?
What? Go on a stroll?
Yeah, a stroll. We'll be sure to take your friend back to her room.
But I can't leave Elena alone.
Then we'll keep her company until you return.
I think I'll take them up on the offer. I'm a little tired, so I'd like to go back and sleep.
No, that isn't good. Let's get you back right away. Yeah, let's go back now.
The two of them took Elena's hand and left. Gosh. We're gonna head back too, sir. Even the men that Yang had with him rushed back to headquarters. Everyone, I don't even know what Yang's gonna say. I sighed and looked over at Yang. I love how they're both like, you two are just going to walk together. Everybody leaves and we're like, they think we're both too stupid to figure that we are. We are absolutely, we need the assist. Okay. Yang seemed to be thinking about something and was quiet. Oh, Yang seemed to be thinking about something and was quiet. I couldn't read him. What do I do? But, I mean, I might as well. I haven't spoken to Yang in a while. Would you like to take me on a stroll? If you don't have any plans, that is. Oh, let's go to the beach. The beach? It's been a while since I've stepped outside of Veleno. The townscape I used to always see now feels nostalgic to me. But, are you sure, Yang? And there's been no activity, so it won't be an issue to walk by. And no one's particularly territorial of the seaside. People passing by were staring at Yang. Of course they are, because they're like, the fuck? They just rolled out of fucking Chinatown. I didn't blame them. Yang's clothes stood out too much in Creta, the district governed by the Visconti. Exactly. Even if they know you're from the Lao Shu, they may not think you're the leader. It was inconceivable to think a man like Yang would walk around town without his men. And compared to Falzone and Redford, not many know what I look like. You like to keep it that way, don't you? Being the head of the Lao Shu, there were plenty of events where he could be in attendance. But Yang was famous in Berlin for not making an appearance at such events. The night on the rooftop was the first time I had ever seen Yang. I remember the night I was abducted. Never in my wildest dreams did I think the man on the rooftop was the head of the Lao Shu. It's pointless to appear in front of people. I have no need to adapt to the customs here. That is very like you. As we talked, we walked and could sense a constant stare from people. Even if they don't know if he's Yang, I suppose people would naturally focus on him. Is it because his clothes and appearance? Or is it his unique aura? No, it's more than that. It's because he's gorgeous. Despite his movements being somewhat lazy, every move was surprisingly attractive. His appeal grew the more you looked at him. I couldn't help but think this man had something about him that drew people in. Yeah, he may be an asshole, but he's goddamn gorgeous. Do you have something to say? I must have been staring at him as I thought those things. Oh, nothing. I quickly shook my head and looked away. I then noticed something and stopped. Hey, Yang? Can we stop by the shop? It's been a while since I've been here, so I couldn't help but be curious. What is it? It's Biscotto Seglies? I have no idea how to say that. Anyway, some kind of biscotti, I'm assuming.
A sweet hailing from Italy's Apulia region. Made using a dough filled with almonds, which is brushed with fruit jam and baked into a biscuit.
These Italian fucking desserts and snacks sound delicious. I'm not a huge fan of Italian food, but like Italian desserts sound fucking good. All I'm saying.
I pointed at the shop and Yang went to buy it for me. Thank you. I was planning to buy it on my own, but I accepted it with gratitude despite my surprise. I took a bite. It's delicious. Despite being a nostalgic taste, for some reason it was the most delicious now. Walking in the evening with Yang, him buying me a snack, this sort of feels like a date? The term didn't seem to suit Yang at all, and I couldn't help but giggle.
What's so funny?
Oh, nothing. I shook my head, still giggling, and Yang looked at me curiously.
You're like, huh? You're like, nothing. You just can't stop giggling once you start. Especially with him looking at you like, the fuck are you laughing about? And you're like, it's even cuter.
The sunset is so beautiful. The burning red skies. I stared at the ocean with the same color. Hearing the waves, I couldn't help but remember the night of the boat deal. But this red ocean was different from the black ocean of the night. It was simply beautiful. Maybe Yang likes to look at sceneries. When I first met him, he was looking down at the night town from the rooftop. As I was lost in such thoughts, Yang's face was suddenly in front of mine. Without saying a word, he bit into the biscotto whatever I was holding in my hand.
Segliese? I don't know. But there's a lot of fucking vowels in that.
I thought you would have bought one yourself if you wanted it. No, he wants to eat yours. Hearing my surprised voice, Yang responded without hesitation.
I didn't think I'd want any.
Yang has the tendency to eat the things I have. I find that side of him adorable.
Cute. I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yang. As the setting sun illuminated his face, I softly called his name. What happened today? How's work going? He seemed busy lately. How's work been?
On the contrary, things are going too smoothly. It's boring me.
I giggled in response, and Yang's head tilted slightly. He's like, why is my bitchiness giggly to you? You're like, you're just so cute when you're grumpy.
You're laughing a lot today.
His expression, for some reason, looked so much more human. I felt my heart beating fast. Neither of us said anything and simply stared into the depths of each other's eyes.
That's kind of a nice thing. You're like, it's beautiful.
I don't know how long we did so.
Oh, let's head back.
He muttered and, without waiting for my reply, began to walk.
I think I'm just going to stay right here. What are you going to do, drag me away? Yeah. Dawn. Last chapter. That means nothing. I mean, we're obvious. I doubt we'll get through it in this part, but like the next part, we could get our best ending. I don't know.
One afternoon, I was having a late lunch with Elena and thought to myself in a daze. Ever since I watched the sun set with Yang, I feel like he's changed. If you were to ask me how, I couldn't explain it. Feels like he's become a little quiet. Although this place was domineering, he hasn't forced anything on me lately. For example...
Hey, girlie, come here and serve me a drink.
I'm sorry, I have to go. I was in a hurry to bring Elena's supper up to her.
Oh, come on, don't be like that. Alcohol always tastes better when poured by a beauty.
But... The man didn't care and went to force the bottle into my hand, but it was intercepted by another hand.
And then if you want a drink, I'll pour it. I love that. It's always... Okay. I love it because he's like, oh, it tastes better when it's poured by a beauty. And then Yang's like, I'll pour it then. And it's just so funny because you're like, yeah, because he's beautiful. But it's funnier because he's like, well, then I guess I'll pour it for you because he thinks he's so beautiful. It's so on multiple levels. It's funny because he's like, I'll pour it then. And you're like, well, yeah, because Yang's beautiful. Of course it's going to taste better if he poured it for you. But it's just that, so like on that surface, you're like, that's just funny. But then it's like, well, wait, that means Yang thinks of himself as beautiful. He's like, I'm beautiful, I know it. Oh my god. A little bit of narcissism is just fucking adorable. I don't know why it's so funny coming from Yang. It just really is. Like, cause you, like, if Nicola was walking around, well, it's because I'm hot. I know I'm hot. You'd be like, you're such a whore. And you expect it from him in a way. You kind of expect him to have that attitude. But, like, it's funnier coming from Yang because Yang's like, I don't give a fuck about shit. Like, whatever. He's so grouchy. And, like, just angry and angsty. And then he's like, I'll pour it for you because I'm gorgeous. It shouldn't amuse me as much as it does. But it does. I love this game so fucking much. I really do. I just have so much fun playing this every single time. There's just so much shit that makes me laugh so much. For being a game about the mafia and all of our boyfriendos are dying in one route or another. Not satisfied? No, not at all. The guy's like, Yang poured the drink to the brim and then turned to me. You go on ahead. Oh, thank you, Yang. After that, his men dealt with me in a manner as to not cross Yang. Sorry. Even when they spoke to me, Yang didn't say much. And there was this other time, if he talks about how beautiful he is. I can't scream. Elena, it's okay. Calm down. He comes in and slaps her. She's fine. Late at night, Elena often had nightmares, screaming and jumping up in bed. Stop! It hurts! It hurts! Let me go! It's okay. I won't hurt you. She seemed to be battling something invisible, and all I could do was sit at her bedside. Lee is what she's battling in her fucking nightmares. Space! Space! Yes, it's me. I'm right here. After she calmed down, I put her to sleep again and then quietly cleaned up the room. As I walked down the dim hallway, I ran into Yang. You're up late? You too, Yang. You're still up? I knew he usually slept for a long time, so I was surprised to see him awake at this hour. But Yang didn't answer my question. He sleeps a lot because he's bored and depressed. The man needs some meds. Are you getting enough sleep? Yes, I've been resting when I can. I feel all right. I see. And that's fine. Although he seems a little more aloof and unfriendly than usual, he doesn't seem to hate me or anything. He's aloof and unfriendly because he's jealous and sad and doesn't want to admit it. Hey, Space? What's the matter? Oh, I'm sorry, Elena. I had some things on my mind. More than 2 weeks had passed since we took in Elena. You haven't spoken to your boyfriend in like 2 weeks. He misses you. She was making great progress. There were times where she felt pain, but it was becoming less frequent. If you feel better, do you want to go for a walk again? Yeah. I realized that Elena gave me a vague response and looked somewhat melancholy. Is something on your mind, Elena? You see, I want to go home. I want to return to the church. Oh, of course she'd want to return home. It was emotionally taxing to live with the Mafia after all this, but I feel like it's still too early. I'd rather send her back to the church after her night terrors subsided. The church can actually help her with that, though. You know what I mean? Like, you know the nuns would be like, why don't you come home with me? I'm sure everyone's waiting. I can't. I'm still kind of a prisoner here, but, like, also I want to be here. Her words made me realize something. Even after I sent Elena back to the church, I was planning on staying here. I don't even know when I started thinking that. My home was the church, not here. Space? I'll talk to Yang about it, whether I can get you back to the church. It might not be immediate. Could you give me some time? Yes, grazie, Spacey. Oh, Space. Sorry, she called me Space. Whoops, I read it wrong. I'm gonna put the dishes away, okay? When I left the room, I walked down the hallway alone and fell into thought. There's going to be a day when I leave here, when I leave Yang's side. The reason why he abducted me was because he thought I was of value to the Falzone. However, now that Dante Falzone was gone, why did the game have to keep slapping me in the face with this? Like, I know. I don't want to be reminded. It hurts, okay? God, game. There was no reason for me to stay here. Especially because our fucking mark has faded away. We're no longer the Key Maiden, thank you very much. I had so many mixed feelings. My feet grew heavier with every step. That evening, Stockholm Syndrome, I noticed that Yang wasn't in his room, so I tried checking the dining hall. Oh, there he is. It was still too early for supper, but Yang was already sitting in his usual seat. No one else was around. Yang, do you have a moment to talk? What is it? It's about Elena. You see, she's asking her to return to the church. And then let her go. What? She can't? I thought he'd say no, but he said yes so easily that I was taken aback. Yeah, he doesn't want her here because she's taking our attention away from him. Her seizures should be decreasing by now. It won't be a problem to return her to the church. Of course, she'll still need someone by her side, but the church is communal living. If you explain the situation to the sisters, the worst is unlikely to happen. He wasn't just saying this on a whim. He had actually thought things through. I was surprised to see Yang like this and awkwardly nodded. Yes, you're right. If Elena wants to go back, it would be for the best. If she returns to the church, I'll have someone guard you. Let me know what day you decide. Thank you, Yang. I was very grateful for Yang's concern. Without thinking, I said what was on my mind. If Elena returns to the church, it'll be lonely. Will you return as well? There was a hint of teasing in his voice. He may not mean it. Could he be joking with me? Okay, here's the thing. In Dante's best ending, we lived with Dante, right? In Nicola's best ending, we went back to the church, but we were still dating him. I kind of feel like it would be like a cop-out and bullshit if in Yang's best ending, we were like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to the church, but I'm still dating Yang. Like, that's, like, look, you could manage that with Nicola. Probably. I don't think you're gonna be able to manage that with you. That's just not gonna fly. Like, that to me won't seem believable. It would be like, no, I'm gonna stay here with you. Like, I feel like Yang is like it. Like, and even in Dante's good ending, not the best, but the good one, you were like, oh, you went to church and you were still kind of dating him and like whatever. Yeah, that makes sense, but like, it doesn't make sense in any ending of Yang's for you to go back to the church. Unless that's the tragic ending. You know what I mean? Like, we're at the church and he's dead. Like, because I can't see Yang being like, yeah, no, go back to the church and we'll date. It'll be amazing. No, he owns you. He thinks of you as his property. Like, even in the best ending where he like loves you, you're still his property. You know what I mean? Like, you can't change him to the point where he's like, no, just do whatever you want. Go back to the church. Sure, whatever's good for you. No. What's good for him is you staying here. Like, so. He may not mean it. Could he be joking with me? Still, for some reason, I felt a pang of pain at my heart. Yang didn't seem to notice my reaction and continued. Falzone's dead, and that breaks the three-way deadlock. Once I kill Redford, Berlin will fall to the Lao Shu. Even if the church were to make a move, they won't be much of a threat. I even called for some backup from the mainland. Everything's going to plan. So your reason for being here... I feel like the look on his face is like, it's like, your reason for being here, please tell me you love me. As Yang spoke, I had no idea why. Tears streamed down my face. What? He frowned, looking at me as if he were taken aback. I realized that my cheeks were wet and rushed to dry them. Why are you crying? I don't know. I'm sorry. Pain in my heart wouldn't go away. Even when I wiped away my tears, I knew looking at Yang would make me cry more. Yang was unexpectedly confused and muttered as if trying to figure me out. Okay. Yang is every man right now when a woman just cries for no fucking reason. Or when we cry and we don't know why, or like, whether it's a happy tears or like, in this case, she's crying. He's like, you can go back. And she's like, I don't want to go back. And he's like, the fuck is happening? We can all appreciate. Fill in the name was unexpectedly confused and muttered as if trying to figure me out. That is literally every man when we're crying. Which is, I said you could go back home. I know, but I want you to want me to stay. Well, okay, then I want you to stay, but that's not fair. I want to go back home. I mean, she doesn't even know why she's crying. She's like, I don't know why I'm crying, but if I look at him, I'm going to start bawling. And he's like, the fuck is happening? She's like, I don't know. I do that to myself sometimes. When I just cry for sometimes, you're like, what the fuck is happening? I don't even know. This is so real right now. It's just so funny. He's like, the hell? You were abducted and brought here. It's only natural that you'd want to return to the church. Yes, I used to think that. I wanted to return just a little while ago. But I couldn't say anymore. I do think it's cute, though, too, that she's not like, I can't say anything, I'm just gonna go. And then he's like, tell me the truth. You're like, I didn't want to tell you. She's pretty open with, like, her feelings. Like this, she's like, yeah, I did want to go home, but... And he's like, but? And then you're like... And, like, she's had moments, I think it was, like, a Dante's route. Or one of them, she's like, I don't think I can say what I'm thinking. She's like, yeah, I can't explain it right now. Just give me a minute. And they're like, the fuck? And then later she's like, yeah, I love you. I couldn't say it before. It's a very normal human thing, but she's not like, I don't know. Why doesn't he understand that I love him? Because you've been a cold fucking fish to him for the whole fucking game, and now you want him to know. She's very open, straightforward, honest, and in situations like this where she's like, yeah, I thought I wanted to go back to the church, but now and he's like, huh? And she's like, how do I say that I don't know? Like, you know? She's like honest with herself, too. I don't know. I like her a lot. She only did one stupid fucking thing so far. Don't go into dark alleys! Proceeds to go into the fucking dark alley. Dumbass, what'd they just tell you? Literally! It's not even like 2 days later, it's 4 seconds. Jesus, let it sink in. You got the brain of a goldfish right now. Goldfish are smarter than that, but...
I'm home! I'm hungry! I'm starving. Hey, it's not dinner yet.
Oh, welcome back, you two. I'm fine. She's sobbing still. What if Yang is pissed at them for interrupting, or pissed because he has no fucking idea why we're crying and he's confused? Then we're breaking. He's like, can't compute. Just like his angry face. Oh, are you in the middle of something?
Did we get in the way? Sorry. Go on, continue.
No, it's fine. We're done. Yang's like, bull fucking shit we are. I still don't understand why you're crying. What the hell's happening? I'm gonna go help with dinner, okay? Without looking at his face, I left the dining hall. I felt him staring at me until the door shut. He's still trying to figure it out. It's gonna be 2 years later, and he's gonna be like, so what the fuck was that? When you were crying then? She's like, because I wanted to stay with you. He's like, it's just been bothering me for years. It's always gonna be in there in the back of his mind, like, what the fuck is happening? Ever since it was decided Elena would return to the church, her condition seemed more stable. And finally, the day of Elena's departure had arrived. Good, I'm tired of her cock blocking us. Because, like, look, it was great, we're saving our friend, but, like, we haven't touched our boyfriend or bit. We're like, whatever, Yang, not your problem. Oh, Elena! Like, Yang and I are on the same side, like, bitch, hello? Hot man exists. I mean, yes, you can help your friend, but you can also, like, actually, like, hey, pat on head. Thanks, boyfriend. Thanks for being a good dude. For a bad, evil mafia man. No, Elena's sleeping. I need to be by her side. She'll be fine. She'll be fucking fine.
We're gonna be your guards. It's a pain, but Yang asked, so I guess it can't be helped. Don't be like that, Faye. Let's have fun. It's been a while since we left Mileno. I guess.
You two, take care of Elena, okay?
You're not coming with us?
Let's go together. If it's just us two, I'm sure she'll feel nervous. Actually, Elena was looking at both of them with concern. But I was being indecisive, and Faye suddenly blinked, noticing something.
Oh, Yang.
Yang lazily emerged from the entrance door and looked our way, because he's probably like, yep, you can go, figuring that we're going to leave and not come back. Actually, I think it'd be cuter if we're like, okay, bye! Go into the church, we drop Elena off, we come back, he's like, what are you doing back here? And you're like, I never planned on leaving, I just wanted to see her off, what the fuck? Yang lazily emerged from the entrance door and looked away, okay. He glanced at Elena's small bag. Is that all she has? Yes. Its contents were all clothes we prepared for her since arriving at the base.
Hey, Yang! Can we take her with us?
Lon! She's like, I don't want to go. I don't mind, but return by nightfall. With that, Yang went back inside. He does mind. He's like, he goes back inside and he's like, what if she goes and doesn't come back? Inside, he's in turmoil. You wouldn't know by the outside, but inside, he's just a fucking mad ball of, like, mess. I can come back? For Yang, they may have just been simple words with no meaning. But for some reason, I was happy to hear it.
We got his permission, so let's get going. Yeah, let's depart.
We left Velena and entered Arca without any issues. As we proceeded down the main street, we saw the church. It's been a while. You too! Sister Sophia! Sister Sophia had just come out of the church when she saw us and ran forward, and we're like, yeah, but I'm not coming back. I'm totally in love with that hot man. Have you seen him, Sister Sophia? Like, he's on fucking fire. Like, he's so good in bed, too. What? She probably wouldn't say that. And with a surprisingly strong force, she embraced Elena and me, although it's good to see her.
Oh, thank God, you two have returned.
Sister Sophia was already crying. We're back, Sister Sophia. I'm so sorry for worrying you, but I'm not staying. I'm so sorry I couldn't contact you, but a lot has happened.
I'm just glad to have you home safely. Since I heard you were both with the Lao Shu, I haven't been able to stop worrying.
What? You knew that we were at the Lao Shu's?
Yes, I heard so from a trustworthy source, though I haven't heard from him in a while.
Oh, Dante's dead.
But even then, I didn't want to believe it.
I see. I need to tell her what happened to us that day. Lon and Faye walked by us and looked up at the church with wonder.
Whoa! Hey! What's this building?
It's a church, a place where you pray to God. Just then, the children in the church spotted us from the backyard.
Sis! You guys are home? Wow, welcome back! What? Our church is full of children?
The fucking music. It's so peppy happy and it's perfect for this. Because this is like such a comical fucking skit of a scene.
You don't know about the church? No, this is our first time visiting. Then we'll show you guys around. There are so many fun things here. Really? Yeah, we have a playground, the roof attic. We'll show you everything. Please, sister.
Sure. Sophia gave a vague response and looked over at us with a concerned expression.
Those two are fine.
Oh, that's me. Those two are fine. Saw the S and I got confused. Lon, Faye, the church is a safe place, so you don't have to worry about being our bodyguards here.
Yeah? Then what should we do?
If you two are okay with it, would you play with the children? It seems like they're really happy to have you here.
Sure, of course. If you insist, very well. I guess you could show us around the church.
You know he's fucking excited.
Yay, this way, come on. Hurry.
The children pulled at their hands and Lon and Faye were taken to the backyard. So fucking cute. Fucking love it. The twins seemed very intrigued and their expressions looked bright. Elena, maybe you should have a rest. I'm sure you must be tired.
Yes, but
I'll talk to Sister Sophia a while, so you go ahead and lie down. You look a little pale. Elena was still in recovery and still walked all this way. I could see the fatigue on her face. Okay, and then I'll take you up on your offer. Elena then headed toward the dormitory.
Space, is something wrong with Elena?
Yes, I'll explain everything. It's something I think you should know.
Understood. Then let's head to the refectory.
Oh, we're at time. Okay, so perfect timing. We'll stop here and we'll continue chapter 8. There is a lot of meanwhile stories going on in this. I have a feeling this one's going to take, to get their ending, another 1 to 2 parts. I don't necessarily know we're going to be able to finish it in the next one. So, especially because we haven't gotten to any of our side stories could all just bam, 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 pop up instantly, or they could be like little scenes in between. Well, there's definitely going to be scenes in between, but you know what I mean? Like, it could be a long scene, they could be short scenes. Because, like, you know how, like, if there's multiple, it pop up meanwhile story and it'll list them. This is meanwhile story, this one, meanwhile story, this. So there's like 4 different ones. So it's 4 different scenes that it's popping up in. And again, they could be scene after scene, and they could be short ones. But you don't know. I mean, the scenes where the meanwhile story, not the meanwhile story. You know what I meant. Anyway. But with that, and then we still have one more choice, and we still have to get our ending. It would be either a very long part in the next one, or like a part and a half, maybe. I can't. I'd be very surprised if we got it done quickly or within an hour. So I'd say we have another part or 2 left, but that's quite all right. You know, and then we have to do all of our other endings. So, and he's got a lot of bad endings, so those are usually pretty quick. But anyway, we'll continue and we'll see how far we get toward our best ending, if we get it, or what in the next part. So I'll see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.